name is Mrs. Meyer, and I'm super excited to tell you about Lenape Elementary's 2017 Science Fair titled Innovative Imaginations. Now you might be wondering what the word innovative means. Well, an innovation is another name for an invention. And you know all about inventions. They're all around you and everywhere you go. The window you look out, the chair you're sitting in, the door you'll leave this room through are all examples of inventions because at one time they didn't exist. Over the course of human history, people have created millions of inventions, all with the purpose of making the human life better. While some things, like my hair clip here, haven't really had a super huge impact on the world, other things, like the light bulb and electricity, the wheel and the axle, those are inventions that have had a huge impact on the way humans live. Now, I looked around for some other inventions to show you, and I found a lot around my house that are inventions you may not think of as inventions because you've always had them around you. I have a pair of scissors. A pair of scissors counts as an invention because at one time there were no scissors. I have a ballpoint pen and a toothbrush. I'm very thankful for this invention. I have a pizza cutter I found in my kitchen, which is a great invention. If you've ever used a regular knife to cut up a pizza, you know how super useful this is and how much better it makes your life. I also have a tape measure. Now at one time, probably all that existed was a ruler that was a piece of wood. And somebody came along and said, boy, wouldn't it be nice if our ruler could bend, or if it could be something that could fit into a small space so it could carry with us. So somebody came up with the idea of a tape measure. Great invention. I also have a fan. A fan is a super useful invention. It's used in many different other inventions, and it's used for heating or cooling. I have a hairbrush, which was probably invented thousands of years ago. And I also have another hairbrush. Now, this is an example of an innovation because this was invented many years ago, and this product is brand new. It's a wet brush. And somebody invented the wet brush because the regular hairbrush pulled on their hair too much. So these would be a great example of an innovative imagination that somebody had for creating a better product of one that already exists. So, are you thinking about joining us for the science fair? I hope you are. Your teacher has a packet for you of information. The first page of your packet is super important. It's the entry form. If you decide to enter the science fair, you and a friend or two need to come up with some ideas. You need to look around you. Look in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, in your car. Look out where you're shopping or look at the roads. Is there something you can invent, or is there something you can change to make the product better? Once you and your partners have an idea, oh, and some important advice, do not, I repeat, do not look up anything on the internet about inventions or look in invention books. You need to come up with your own ideas. So do not look on the internet at this point. Once you and your partners decide what idea you're going to create, what invention you have, you can fill out this form. There's a spot for your names, your shirt size, so you can get a nice science fair shirt. There's a spot for your parents' signatures and your teachers to sign also. Then you need to let me know on this paper about your invention. What's it called? What is it? What does it do? What's the purpose of it? And how are you going to actually build your invention? I have an example that I'd like to show you. This is the product I created called Rebar. It is a product that is intended to save soap scraps from being thrown away. So how I decided on this was I looked around my house and I thought, what is something I can fix or something I can change to make our lives a little bit better? And I noticed that there were soap scraps that were slimy and small and useless in my shower. So I thought, well, if we could just take those soap scraps and melt them into a new bar, we wouldn't have to throw them away. So I created Rebar. Now, my idea had to become a prototype. A prototype is a physical example of your product. It doesn't have to be the actual thing you would try to sell, but it has to be something that shows how your product is supposed to work and kind of what it's supposed to look like. So here is my Rebar. It is a piece of foil that I've taken and kind of made a little metal container out of. A real rebar, if I were to really make this, would actually have a nice piece of metal. That piece of metal shape would be stuck to a heat source, and I have just a candle heater here as my heat source. This is just to show what my idea is and how I would want it to work. The idea here is that I would be melting the soap into a new bar of soap. So this is my example. After I made my board, after I made my prototype, that's when I got on the internet. And I asked the question on the internet, does somebody else already create my product? Does this product already exist? Or am I really an innovative thinker? Is this something that's brand new? So once you do complete your entire board, you create your prototype, you've discussed with your group how you're going to present, you've come up with some kind of advertisement to let people know what your product is, what it does, where to buy it, how much it costs. Then you can look on the internet to see if your product already exists. If it does, that's fine. Tell us what it is. Tell us what its name is. Tell us how much it costs and where we can purchase it. If it does not exist, then you truly have an innovative imagination. So, back to our pamphlet of information. Once you and your group have filled out this paper, it belongs in the lobby box that says Science Fair. So you'll rip this off, you'll take it to the lobby and you'll put it in the Science Fair box. Do not, let me repeat, do not start to make your board, do not start to build your prototype. You need to wait a couple of days and I will send you a paper that says, congratulations, we want you to be in the Science Fair. Once you have that paper, then you can go ahead and start to build and start to work with your group on your poster and your ideas. In this packet, you can find the example I just showed you, my rebar example, and I'd like you to make yours way better than mine. Mine is bland and boring. I need yours to be entertaining. I need you to create an ad or a TV advertisement, a TV commercial that's super interesting and really makes people want to buy your product. But there's an example. I also have information here that tells you what a problem is, what a prototype is, and what your advertisements can look like. I have tips in here for parents. I have tips in here for students. The number one tip for students is do not go to the internet. You need to come up with these ideas on your own. The last page of the packet gives you a schedule of events. It's a reminder of when everything's happening. On Monday, April 24th, you have to turn in your entry form by then. After that, you'll get a paper from me that says you're in the Science Fair, go ahead and start creating, and that's when you can start to do your board and your prototype and actually work with your group. Then, quite a while later, because you need lots of time to do that, on May 18th, it's a Thursday night, that's when the parents and the students with their projects all go to the gym and we have a Science Fair. You need to be prepared at that time with your prototype, with your board, and you also need to have a nice little presentation so that when people are walking past, you can invite them to look at your product and you can entice them to want to purchase your product and use your product. The next thing on the schedule is a Friday, May 19th, and that's the Student Science Fair. That's when the students and the teachers all visit the gym to see all of your projects. It kind of gets you out of class for quite a few hours, and it's a lot of work, but it's fun. So I'd really love to see you at both of these events, and I'd like you to turn your entry form in on time on Monday, April 24th. That's in the box in the lobby. So you probably have some questions. Here are some I think you might have. Why should you join the Science Fair? Well, it's a great experience. You get to think creatively, you get to work with a group, you get to learn how to present. You also get a nice t-shirt, and I also have a couple of other little things to give you that go along with our invention theme. I think it's a great idea to join the Science Fair. I hope you join us. Another question, who can I work with and when can we do it? Well, you can work with anybody that's in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. The maximum that can be in your group is 3 people. That means you cannot have 4 people in your group. You can have 1 person, 2 people, or 3 people. Anybody 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. When you can do it is up to you. You and your partner might be able to get together after school because you live close. You might get together at recess time to work on your projects. You might ask your teacher if you can do it at dismissal or during the morning time. When you do work on your project at school though, you need to provide your own materials. I'm not asking you to go out and buy things. I'm asking you to look around your house and use what you have. So you can work with anyone in 4th, 5th, and 6th, and you can do it anytime you can find time. Can you work by yourself? Absolutely. I like to work by myself, so I completely understand. Yes, you can work by yourself. Do you have to make a TV commercial? You don't have to make it. You have to make some kind of advertisement. You can make a magazine advertisement. You can make an internet advertisement. Something else you can think of is fine. A TV commercial, though, would probably be pretty interesting to watch as you're walking through the science fair. So really think about this one. Can your group make a TV commercial? If you think you can do it, that would be a great addition to your project. Another question. What if I can't be at the Thursday night science fair, but I can be at the Friday one? Well, I know May is a really busy time, so if you have softball or baseball or something else going on that Thursday night, that's okay, as long as the rest of your group is able to make it to the science fair. If your group can make it and you can't, but you can make it Friday to the school science fair, please send me a note and I will excuse your absence on Thursday. Another question. Can you bring laptops, tablets, iPads, etc.? This is actually a question for your parents, whether or not they allow you to bring these things to school. If you do bring them to school, we at the school cannot be held responsible for losing or breaking or anything bad that happens to your electronic device. So please ask your parents. They will let you know if they trust you and if they think it's a good idea or not to bring in those things to school. But it's up to you, and if you do bring it, you're responsible for keeping it safe the whole time. Last question. Can I explain all of this again? Well, again, all of the information you need is in the packet, and this video is posted on YouTube. So your parents can view it, you can view it again. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to stop in the 6th grade hallway and see me, or you can email me at hmeyer@asd.k12.pa.us. So I hope to see you at the science fair. Bye!